another crazy few days with all these last 16 games coming up. So let's kick off our first big segment today and focus on a quarterfinal matchup. The first one we know that's going to happen, the Netherlands against Argentina. Main question to you are, who are the favorites going into this? Because Lionel Messi, he was the hero for Argentina once again, as they did beat Australia pretty well, but they made life more difficult for themselves than they needed to be in that last 16 game. But does it almost feel like it's the destiny for Messi to win this World Cup, just the way they're getting through and grinding through games at this point?
You wouldn't be wrong to think that way, Joe. The way that things are shaking out, but what I've been most impressed by, honestly, is the midfield, the defense, and then at the end against Argentina, at the very end, Emi Martinez with a fantastic save, against Australia. This is a team that I think now at some point has a combined expected goals against in this tournament of 1.2. They've been beaten by 2 fantastic Saudi Arabia goals and one of the wildest deflections you are ever going to see in today's game. Otamendi's been great. Lisandro Martinez had a terrific block last game. And I think they're very good. I think it'll be till the semifinals until we're talking about them potentially being an underdog.
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of all working out with the bracket, right, to see, who's going to go through, and we're already thinking ahead, a couple of steps ahead. But for the Netherlands, after they beat the US, I guess somewhat comfortably in the end with the 3-1 scoreline, but that probably didn't tell the whole story of the game. The Dutch were clinical, the US were not. But they were kind of critical of themselves, talking about how they gave the ball away so cheaply. They lost it in midfield a lot, and how they're going to have to be a lot better than that later on in the tournament if they want to go to where they want to go to, which is obviously win the whole thing. So it's a bit harsh from the Dutch, because I thought they were just very kind of polished and workmanlike and professional against the US and did what they had to do when their chances arose, and didn't give an awful lot away, right? I'm just struggling to find too many criticisms about them.
They didn't. The U.S. essentially gave them the first half, if we're honest. With all due respect to Jesus Ferreira, he looked like he hadn't played in a month and a half. He was one step slow, and it's not really his fault. So I don't know that they'll feel like they were tested. I think they'll feel like they may have been tested in terms of getting from the backs to the forwards, but the way the U.S. marked at the back posts, the fullbacks looked exhausted, and so I don't know that they can take much away from it other than maybe listen to what your analysis will be, because you were the one who was telling us for a couple of days that Denzel Dumfries was going to have a heck of a game, goal and 2 assists, and just a menace, and a big man too, by the way.
Oh yeah, he was brilliant, was he? Him and Dali Blind down the wing back form. That was huge for the Dutch. I think it'll be huge against Argentina as well, and how they kind of just create that overload situation, right? It was wild to see Dumfries crossing for Dali Blind coming in as a spare man, and then role reversal.
Very Liverpool.
Yeah, it was, right. It was like watching Liverpool. So I think that's the key here, and I think the Dutch have different ways they can play with different players, and that may just give them a bit of an edge against Argentina, keep the Argentines guessing. But then Argentina have Messi, so that kind of trumps any kind of tactics or personnel you want to put out there. So yeah, I think this is going to be a really even game. Your prediction for this then, who do we think are the favorites? Are we going 50-50? Are we going 60-40 Argentina? It seems like a fairly even clash when you start to go through defense, midfield, attack. You got Van Dijk, De Jong, Depay for Dutch, and then you have Messi. Obviously, Rodrigo de Paul's been excellent, and then you have, I think the likes of Otamendi and even Lisandro Martinez coming on, some incredible tackles there at the back for Argentina, and Emi Martinez in goal. So when you look through the spine of these teams, it's kind of very similar in terms of quality level.
It is. I'd say 51-49 to Argentina. No, and here's why. It's Lionel Messi, and not just the magic of him, but honestly, it's because if there is a way, if there is now a weakness in Virgil van Dijk's armor, it's a quick dribbling. If you want to body up Virgil van Dijk, he can still hang with you. But if you want to dance around him and get your feet moving quickly, and Messi, as well as anybody on earth, knows when to win a penalty. So I'd just give slight edge to having, the best player of all time or one of the best players of all time in your attack.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be really close, like extra time penalty situation. So I'm probably going to go with Argentina as well. And obviously we're looking ahead, and it kind of sets up the great narrative of having Brazil against Argentina in the World Cup semi-final, right? I think we're all kind of looking forward to that. So Yeah, I'm going to go with Argentina, but I just don't think it's going to be easy, and I don't think they've made anything for themselves easy in this tournament so far. But wouldn't surprise me if the Dutch just come out and do what they did to the US as well, and they get 2 or 3 chances, put them away, because Louis van Gaal just seems to be getting the best out of this team. And by the way, I'll go over to my Twitter page at JBW_NBC Sports, because there is a crazy video of the Dutch celebrating when they go back to the team hotel, and Louis van Gaal went into full dad mode at a wedding with his cell phone out and was having the time of his life. So fair play to Van Gaal. He gets a lot of criticism, but he's done a really good job tactically with this Dutch team, and let's see what they can do against Argentina. So head over to Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com for all the latest news ahead of that game, how to watch information, preview, team news, analysis. We'll have you covered. That is going to be an absolute classic World Cup quarterfinal, Nick Mendola. The Netherlands against Argentina. Just seems like so many great encounters between those teams over the years when I think back to it. Yeah. I think we're going to have another one there. That is for sure.